and welcome back to Talking of Books for our second hour of all to do with books, the world of books and news and gossip. And the second hour, we always start with that wonderful introduction of our book champion, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Hani Soubra, his first time on Talking of Books. Welcome, Hani.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure and our honour because Hani is Regional Director for BBC World Service, World News in both Arabic and English, and so we feel particularly honoured to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And I first came in touch with Hani when I saw on my desk a book, Letters to Dalia, Reflections on Lebanon and the Middle East by Hani Soubra. It's his first book, I believe, and I hope there'll be many more. And it is your version of idealised love and of utopia, and how you see, or how you wish that future generations will be able to tackle all of the issues that face them today that can detract them. And it's a wonderful book, Hani. It is a wonderful book, and it has the dedication to your mother and father is absolutely, to your late father, is lovely. So I can thoroughly recommend Letters to Dalia to anyone. But interesting, there's a connection between Letters to Dalia and the book you've chosen today, I believe. So the book you've chosen today is Emotion.
This is The Geopolitics of Emotion by Dominic Morrissey.
Yeah, who's a male? Who I thought was a female, but you've enlightened me.
He's a French intellectual. He writes for the Financial Times, he writes for Foreign Affairs, he's also a visiting professor at Harvard. And you're right, there is a connection, and I think it's about the ability to understand your personal cultural prejudice and decide whether you want to follow that or not. In my book, I would say I've asked the future generation called Dalia, who's represented by my two daughters, to always reflect, think, seek more, and research more before reaching a judgment that might be just an extension of your preference or prejudice. That is the wrong way to go about decision making. In Morris's Geopolitics of Emotion, he's asking world leaders, before deciding on any geopolitical decision, to think about the emotions of the people, which is an oxymoron really, because when you talk about geopolitics, that means you're talking about policy making. The moment you say policy making, emotion has no place. But what Morris is introducing in a new model, whereby he's asking, think about three categories of people and put them in three different buckets: fear, hope, or aspirations. Fear, hope, or aspiration. Now, Morrissey believes that culture plays a big role in the way people perceive themselves. If they believe that they are, if they perceive themselves as hopeful, like the Indians or the Chinese do, then the future belongs to them, and they approach the future with self-confidence. If the people perceive themselves as fearful, like according to Morrissey, the Americans and the Europeans are, because they are fearing immigration, they are fearing getting old, they are fearing taxation, so on and so forth, legal spread, etc., then he feels that these people are going to approach the future with lots of hesitance. In the last category, he was referring to the Islamic and the Arab, which is where my genuine concern is. Sorry, I said aspiration, it was a humiliation. He said some people feel that they are humiliated because they cannot bridge the discrepancy between their past and their future. So there are many samples in the Islamic and the Arab world. The same people who built Cordoba and Asfahan and are the same people now who are living under the boots of either supreme dictatorship or imperialistic extension of previous rule or. That gap has not been bridged. Consequently, these people are always humiliated, they feel humiliated
And negative.
And they will approach their future not with hope, but with an injured confidence. That's exactly Moses' trap.
And helpless. You feel that there is a helplessness pervading the whole sort of atmosphere, that things can't be changed. And until the attitude is changed, until people feel that that the will of the people can make a difference and should make a difference, you don't accept things if they're wrong and if they're not good for your future.
There will be very bad recipients for anything, be it change, be it a plan, be it a schedule. They just refuse it because they are in a very strong, resentful state of mind. And until you break that, there will be no advancement.
So how, Hani? I mean, that is a huge sort of predicament, isn't it? But if that is true, that the Arab and Islamic world find themselves in.
I think eventually there will be a new generation that will come to terms with things, and that's I hope that's the generation that I talk about, the Dalia generation. That generation is educated, be realistic, and see does not trust our historical platforms that are not applicable anymore. We just have to come to terms with things. Plenty of scientists, philosophers, inventors who migrated to the West are either from Arab origins or are Muslim, or Muslim, sorry. So things maybe are not that bad in real life, but because of negative propaganda, because of dictatorship, because of misrepresentation of reality, the nation, the people are put under negative pressure around the clock. I believe in flux. I believe in change. I believe that the generation will come that will be able to break all the stereotypes around it.
Do you think education is the biggest, most important point in that? It's a very, very leading question, I have to say, because I think there's only one answer.
I say it is, but it's not a definite yes. I'll give you for example. September 11 attackers, they had master degree holders, they had PhD holders, the planners, and before that you have witnessed a great mathematician from Berkeley called Ted Kaczynski, he's the Unabomber. So the education element is there, but the education element is not there. It has to become...
But those are only a handful of people out of the whole, so I mean there's always going to be...
Well, Times Square bomber was a very highly technocrat, and he decided to put the bomb. Just recently he's just been convicted.
Correct.
So, I agree with what Hani. Education, it can kind of turn around 360 and change people, and if it's not used properly, I think.
But I think, for me, one of the most important things of education is to give a child, a student, the tools to question and to be able to question. So it's not a rote learning method where you go to school and you know everything by heart, you can repeat everything by heart, and you can regurgitate. Yeah.
Feminine education of tick the boxes. Can you answer this? Have you been taught that? And teachers have lost that ability to inspire or to create the desire to find out.
Small example, in English literature now, if you do A-level English literature, it is not necessary to have read the whole book. And I just think, not necessary. When we were at school, you knew that book off by heart because you'd read it, 12, 14, 15 times, and you understood it. But just to take out key passages, to be able to answer a question or, get notes on the internet.
Supposedly definitive correct answers. So you regurgitate what you're told is the correct answer, not the question of why is that the correct answer.
And therefore,
in particular things like English, I'm just thinking, and it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Mathematics, yes, it is definitive, it is absolute, it's out of life, but it's wrong. In subjects like English, where you can have a more target original view.
they gave three noted authors the A-level questions for, it was either that, I think it was A-level questions, and none of them scored higher than a B. These were adults. So there's something wrong with the system, don't there?
I would say education can be an essential building block in the process. However, I would say whether it's education, upbringing, society, it has to rest on a platform, and that platform has to be values. And this is the conclusion in our book. And I think that human values, as simple and as basic as it might sound, unfortunately has been eroded and has been replaced by labels, by zealotry, by fanatics. Once we are back to this basic human values of respect, of coexistence, we need to focus on the people who gave us good ideas. I would draw a comparison between two good ideas and two bad ideas. Gandhi Mandela from one side, George William from the other side. The idea of Gandhi was about tolerance. We cannot follow that. the idea of Mandela was about liberty. Mandela believed that he's willing to live and die many times in the name of democracy, but he's not going to kill anybody. The idea of George Bush Armageddon is about destruction. The idea of the lab with Al-Qaeda is also about evil and destruction. So there are cycles in life. We are not talking here about a scenario where the good has been transferred to a dinosaur scenario, i.e. extinct from 10 years. No. There are plenty of good people. There are plenty of good role models to follow. Dr. King, liberty, so on and so forth. So you can follow that. But at the same time, if you decide to follow Bush or Bin Laden or Kaczynski or a Karadzic ethnic cleansing, you are surrendering to your evil tendencies. And that is the message I'm trying to give to Dalia. Please not.
Absolutely. Now, Hani, we'll come back in a minute. Are we taking a break? Did I see a flashing sign? No. Yes, I did. I saw this white thing flashing like
To Hani, stay tuned.
The latest bestsellers, poetry, and all the news and views from the world of books. It's Talking of Books.